Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2.
Yes, it is that time of the night. And hello, how are you doing, guys? I hope that everyone is doing great. Sure. Siseguyele ndaba kaBaloyi, and I hope you remember that. Just keeping up with this man. Make sure that you press the like button, like the video, subscribe, and join the membership. That's basically, those are the things that we are looking for this side. Yeah, siselana kuBaloyi ke nama questions akhe repetitive, and they are repetitive. And yes, they are repetitive, but yeah, sizothini phela ngoba ingane kuyona ephethe ibhola ayikhishwa ithethiswa ngoba nizongadlali, so umdlalo awukho Baloyi mayengekho ngoba hawu uyise uyena othenga ibhola, singasho njalo. That's basically what we can say. Yeah, so injalo nje indaba. We will continue, we'll do what we need to do. Follow up as usual, because that's what we do. Follow up and come back to you and tell you exactly what we think is happening. So I was laughing because initially it was a cell phone number that was connecting these people.
Yes.
Now they're being connected through area.
Suit.
The guy is just, oh man.
The fact that all of them are from Osutu, it means they're from one area. This is such a stupid concept, because what he's literally saying is that a person from Mamelodi who will see a person in town from maybe Hammanskraal in Pretoria, because that has taken place, then it means this person from Mamelodi and this person from Hammanskraal are coming from the same area, and they know each other and they are best friends, and they even plot crimes together.
Yes, that's what happens if you don't have anything to actually use. You start looking at Geographical itself as to say who's situated where. I mean, I hlukile le ndaba no baba. Yes, they know. America is the greatest country. Now he's busy asking for people.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa.
He's busy now asking for people to actually accompany him on the same world that he created. Now he remembers the allies. Now he's begging for allies, because he's realizing that it is not easy as they think. So right, good. This is the country, this is the world that we live under. This is the world that we live under. No, people always think that things are that simple. Such is life. So we are watching now Baloyi dancing,
controlling the court, making sure that the court goes along with his watch, his very slow watch that is not going anywhere.
So hours is to watch.
Imili watch ayifuna ukuhamba. It's been 4 weeks of him cross-examining Ntanzi, and we are yet to find out why was Ntanzi hunted down like a dog and arrested in 2020.
Just because Upumo Osutu.
Why is he king? Just because he's from Osutu. Mina ngikhathele ilo baba lo, makahlale phansi. Hayi ngeke bafowethu. This is an abuse of state resources. How do we have to point it out? It's an abuse of state resources, but the Mamudimo dragging a cross-examination for 4 weeks, and you're not even at the tip of the iceberg. You're not even getting warmer. You are cold as ice. Cold. Wabata. Cold. Why can't he just accept defeat and let this judge dismiss this case? I mean, I don't understand. Why is there this desperation to come up with a guilty verdict with next to nothing evidence that you have? Admit you made a mistake. It was a mistake to take this thing to trial. But you don't want to do that. I don't know how this is going to end, honestly speaking. This is nasty. This is some nasty business. I don't know what's going to happen in the end. I don't know. What is the way forward? Kamo, there's that prosecutor. Apparently he had the NDPP, Motibi. He had an interview that I'm yet to watch. I need to watch that interview first thing in the morning, where he was talking about hoping for success in this case. What success? Cross-examining someone concerning not even matters of the crime itself, but matters of, still proving the confessions. That is success. Yo, icon. But let's hear what happened today in court and probably try to pick out. We decipher, Tina. We analyze for ourselves. So, guys, welcome back to the Ntanzi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us here again for another deliberation on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. It's a Monday. It was a Monday yesterday. A Monday. And Baloyi started off by saying that 2 affidavits were filed on your behalf. The first affidavit is dated the 20th of August 2022 and is deposed by yourself. And you also initialed each page. The affidavit consisted of 5 pages. The heading in the High Court of South Africa, the matter between State Muzisibia Bongani Ntanzi Mtobisi Prince Mncube and the rest up until accused number 5, Mr. Bongani Ntanzi versus the State, supplemented affidavit in support of bail application. Ntanzi confirmed his signature and initials. Ntanzi said that on page 2, the B is different. He did confirm that, yes, I did initial each and every page, but there on the second page, the B there looks different from the one that I would usually sign. Baloyi said that he had also attached another affidavit which is unsigned, titled Amended Affidavit in Support of Bail Application in the Matter Between the State and Bongani Ntanzi. Now, this affidavit is typed and consists of 5 pages. It was dated September 2022. The affidavit is not commissioned and it is accompanied by a heads of argument. And he said his attorney had signed for the heads of argument, and the day was 19th of September 2022. Ntanzi asked, when it says it has been amended by who? And Baloyi said it has been signed by your legal representative. But for the sake of cross-examination, Baba Ntanzi, we are not going to refer to that affidavit. You're just showing it as indicated, just out of abundance of caution.
White lies. Can you believe it? The man can just lie on the national television, because he goes to that very same affidavit that he said is not cross-examine on. He does cross-examine on.
He goes to it.
That is Baloyi for you. That is what Baloyi is capable of.
Out of abundance of caution. But I said, as we have intimidated the state, then intimated. The state then filed an answering affidavit by Brigadier Gininda. The filing notice was dated the 19th of September 2020. The state then filed a filing notice as dated 20th of September 2022. He said, now we have indicated that the matter was heard on the 13th of October 2022 and the proceedings of that date have been transcribed. He showed Ntanzi the transcribed record that he said was made of 56 pages, and he said, you'll recall that your defense called your brother Baba Mbongeleni Ntanzi to give oral evidence on your behalf on the 13th of October 2022. Baloyi started with the transferred or transcribed proceedings. And he said when Baloyi was cross-examining his brother Mbongeleni Ntanzi, that was himself. Advocate Baloyi has been with this case from the very beginning. In fact, he was the one opposing Ntanzi's bail. Baloyi said you also testified that the place where you come from is KwaHlokolo in a rural village and that there are no street addresses. Is it correct? Then he answered yes. And Baloyi said, now, if one looks for your residential area at KwaHlokolo, how will one go about it? His response was as follows. And this man said that, he wishes to make a point to take it up with him. He answered, you will find the address in this way. From KwaNongoma, you will say Osuthu, and then in the transcription it said indistinct. When it says indistinct, it means that the microphone is not picking it up correctly or is not able to make sense of what is being said. And then when you reach Osuthu, even yourself through your eyes, you can see that there stands the village. You can ask any person, they'll give you a direction. And Baloyi said, so in other words, Baba Ntanzi, according to your evidence or the evidence of your brother, Osuthu and KwaHlokolo lie in the same neighborhood. And I had a problem with the term neighborhood because I'm thinking neighborhood. Isn't that the kind of terms that we'd rather use in urban areas, with the village saying that neighborhood, it doesn't sound right. Well, Ntanzi said, let me answer this before the court because there's somewhere where you are going to mislead the court. Where I come from, the entire area is Osuthu village. Then there are different homesteads like KwaHlokolo. If you ask me from KwaHlokolo, where do I come from? I come from Eskwebezi. I believe, in court you asked me about Mahamboma. That's the place that I was struggling with the last time and I couldn't pronounce it. Mahamboma. He said, I told you that Mahambuma, I know it by passing by on my way to KwaNongoma. You told that is where accused number 4 comes from. I asked you from where in Mahambuma and you never answered me. So what I'm speaking through Ubabu Jonasi is not wrong, it's right. And then Baloyi said, so in other words, KwaHlokolo is part of the greater Osuthu area. And Ntanzi said, I'm saying that it's the place of the king. And then KwaHlokolo also forms part of it. This is like Freedom Park falling under Phukeng. But when you leave from town going to Freedom Park, you get into the cars from number 8. From number 8 you get off and then you get into the cars that are taking you to Freedom Park. Even at home it's like that. I get into the cars that I go to Osuthu, and when I get to Osuthu I get off and go to KwaHlokolo. The car will travel all the way to my homestead in Eskwebezi, and that's where I'm coming from. So Baloyi said the reason, Baba Ntanzi, that why we are asking this question is that, as we have indicated to you during the course of cross-examination, is that the address of accused number 5 is given as Osuthu in the indictment. Now, he's trying to say, or was trying to say, that Ntanzi and accused number 5 come from the same area. This is where we are. From failing to link via phone calls, we are now here to say, okay, because now you are from the same neighborhood as this murderer, then it means you know each other. Or you are from the same neighborhood as this person, then it means you know each other and you plot and you scheme together to go around killing people. That's what he is trying to do. And in my opinion, it was an epic fail. Okay, it's a disgrace, honestly, what is happening in there. It's a disgrace. Well, Ntanzi said accused number 5 has not told me which area he comes from in Osuthu. Osuthu is a huge place. It has way too many homesteads. Even myself, there are areas I haven't been to in Osuthu, as old as I am. And Baloyi said, furthermore, that is based on your own evidence on the 20th of July 2023 when Ntanzi testified. And he said, and I quote, the other thing, my lord, is that they arrested me for something that I do not know. Even mentioned the accused number 3, 4, and 5. I do not know who they are. I know accused number 5 by seeing him, but we are not acquaintances. So in other words, Baba Ntanzi, the preposition, even if you come from Skwebezi within the KwaHlokolo area, both you and accused number 5 are from the greater Osuthu area. And this of saying that he doesn't know accused number 5 is an acquaintance, he has seen him before, there's part of his evidence that is given before, that he did see him in town, but he did not know him. It's like seeing somebody that, from town, and then you don't know that person. You are not acquainted with that person. You are not friends with that person. It happens that when you live in the same town, you cannot know everyone. You understand? You cannot know everybody from that district. It's impossible. Then Ntanzi said, I'm from KwaHlokolo. I said that the entire area is an area that belongs to the king, and the place is referred to as Osuthu. Let me just point out that with the area of Rustenburg, for example, Rustenburg has their king in Phokeng, but they have Tlhabane West, Kanana, Sunrise, Luka, Pitikong. These areas, the people from there don't know each other. These places are far apart, but there's one king. Even where I come from, it's like that. There's one king, but we live far apart from each other. We are from different places. I thought that accused number 5 would testify in this court, then maybe I could hear which area he's from in Osuthu. Baloyi then said, and you also testified that Mahambuma, where accused number 4 comes from, is also a village that falls within Osuthu area, and you all fall under one king. All these areas, Mahambuma, KwaHlokolo, and Ntanzi said yes. Baloyi then says, so will it be then correct to say that you, accused number 5 and accused number 4, come from the greater Osuthu area, even if it's different villages, but it is the greater Osuthu area? And Ntanzi said, I'm saying that the area is in Osuthu. Let me place this before God.
You was would see there's something that I wanna put.
Okay.
About these places such as Osuthu. I want to make an example.
Yes, we're listening.
If you go to other places, like let's say you go to this other place in Kwesarabiela, which falls under Mpangeni and still touches on a town such as Eshowe and still touches on a town such as Melmont. That place is called Ubuga. That place is big. When I say it's big, it is big to such an extent that someone we are talking about a place that crosses towns, different towns.
Okay.
And there's one king there. It's because the king there is Biela. So that's one king.
But the area is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
The only time people get to know each other is when maybe badlala induku, kudlalwa induku emgangeleni. Mhlawumbe kuhanjiwe kuyolunta. Makuzo, there's one bus that is gonna come out maybe, and that bus iphuma nobuka. Ubuka ke, it's one area that I've just mentioned, which has many places from many areas. Under many igodi. Do you understand when I say under many igodi? You can cover many places, such as you take it down, go Lokozana, go plant, go Hlabathini, wehle njalo. Just not far from that, kunentembe. Wehle njalo ubheke koShowe phansi laphana. Yabona, intembe, that's a different king.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say, they don't know each other. They only know each other when they are here in Joburg. Ukuthi umfoka bani lona ngumfoka sibani bani mina. Uphethe ubani inkosi yami engiphethe mina ubiyela or mhlambe nabantu who are from kwesakamthetho,
Yes.
It's a huge place. It's a very huge place, that place. Very huge place. Among it a huge place, maybe Ntanzi, you can just, when you say Mamelodi is small. We're not talking, Mamelodi is just small. It qualifies to be one Sikoti.
One home
and then
state.
Trying to explain that to someone who's saying, just because uphuma kwesakabiela for example,
it means you're from the same area.
kusho ukuthi you are from the same area. Kwesakabiela you can name many people khona umkhandlweni kube khona koqomtaba pants deep side where the king is actually situated koqomtaba for example wehle njalo uzobuya ngapha uze ngasemelmoth kuneyigodi efana nonjomelwana noplant wele njalo ngaphesheya kunolokhuzana kunomkhandlweni kunani. So this is one king. They don't know each other. Yabona? But they know we are under Inkosi yakaBiyela. That's it. That's all they know. Yabona? Bayazi Inkosi because very king would visit maybe places. They have his places. He would visit.
Some of these areas are 1 to 2 hours apart driving.
Some of them 3.
Some of them 3.
4.
But they fall under one king.
Travel. I mean, they fall under one king.
Isn't that interesting?
It's very interesting.
So the concept that Baloyi is using is that of a town, a small town.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking at it like a small township that has section A, section B.
Yeah, more like a township.
It's like, oh, you guys are from the same...
The blocks.
Yeah, from the same kasi, like Pumes Kawini. There's Kawini. When Upuma go pay J1, it's like Puma in one area.
That he's using.
Yes.
And where it's also easy to get around from section to section because, transport is easily available compared to the villages. When it comes to the villages, public transport is not as easy as that. If you have a friend from a different village and a friend from another village and you don't have a car, it is a lot to maintain that friendship.
The distance.
It's a lot.
I'm just going to talk about distance. It's a distance, Bob. Like uhamba walking can take you like 2 hours to go to the next isikot. Walking. So it but ukhulelela he grew up here. He probably thinks that's how people think. General people from town, they have one mentality because they haven't, like, unlike us who are from villages,
you need to
who understand, who can visualize such thing. But their way of visualizing it, they are thinking of it like, oh, Puma esosha nguve, Puma upema VV, yabona.
No, the
UU, or iking as a social, isn't that? Iking as a social. That's how he's thinking of it.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's very interesting how he's managed to compress Osotho like that to make it look like it's such a small area. So he said, let me place this before court since you want to mislead the court. Ntanzi responding to Advocate Baloyi's assertion there. He said, I'm coming from KwaHlokolo. It's divided into 4 areas. There's a chief up there, and then there's a school in KwaHlokolo. Exactly. And then there is Endoneni.
Nango umuntu enze example. He's saying it's from Empangeni, Ebukanana, but he has never been in a place called a plant, which is falling under same Ubuka.
Sure.
Probably you have also never been in Jomelwan, which is also falling under Ubuka. Those are things that I'm trying to actually explain. Mhlambe uphume eBukanana, some of you khona eBukanana angaze niye kwaQomtaba. Yabo.
There's so many places.
Umuntu mayekutshela ethi ngisuka ensimbini uyuzwe nje ukuthi umuntu uphuma ensimbini kuphi nensimbi, where is that nsimbi, yabo awas because you understand. But it's one area. they hardly know each other.
Yeah.
Plant, Nenjo Melwan, those are neighbors. But I can tell you, they don't know each other, some of them.
Then he said that there is Kwahlogolo Mfolozi, Kwahlogolo Kwandelu. And then he said, then I'll be on the other side with Asises Kwebezi. So even myself, there's a person I don't know who's from Kwahlogolo. Perhaps when they see me at soccer or the Zulu traditional song and dance. Where will I know a person from Usutu on the other side when it is so far? It's a huge distance away. Well, then Baloyi said, Baba Ntanzi, we have made a very simple proposition to you. Accused 5 and accused 4 come from the greater Usutu area under one king. And Ntanzi said, yes, we are from the same king. And this is where I was in disbelief that please don't tell me that Baloyi based an entire case that has dragged for.
No, he didn't base it based on that way, Emil. I'll tell you. Because they were caught on this thing of the number. It did not work. So now they need to stick to the theory of they categorize these people. There must be something that is linking them. So that's why Usutu is being used as the common area. Because that number thing did not work. It was caught. It didn't land. So now we can move away and we can claim good and Pumo Sutu nonke. Nonke and Pumo Sutu. Yeah, that's a common thing. You don't talk over phones. You don't have each other's phone. Shooting nina nihlangane naba ne meeting oSuthu naseNyokanga. Because I mean, people from villages, they don't have anything to do. They just sit down and discuss who to kill.
Imagine.
So nje bahlangane odwendweni or engomeni lapho awahlangana to usenzo uyambona usenzo. Yambona mele simshaye usenzo. Simshaye. Because there is nothing that actually combines these people. They don't have anything.
Now, Baloyi moved on to accused number 3's address. He said it was given as the following the indictment. Macha mhlophe nongoma. I don't know whether he wanted to say mache amhlophe.
Macha mhlophe nongoma, yes.
Oh, manje uti macha mhlophe, and then that's when I was.
Athi yabona ke manje macha mhlophe does not fall under Usutu. So now they start now questioning the distance between them. That's how weak what they have is. It is weak.
Ntanzi said, where is that? And
did you hear that? He does not know.
Does not know where Majam Shop
And guess what? He's still going to be asked whether he knows.
Accused number 3.
Even though he's asking where is that, he's still going to be asked whether he knows it.
But I said, that's what we want to establish from you. Do you know the area? And Ntanzi said, I don't know where is that. But I said, is it perhaps not one of the villages under the greater Usutu area? Ramasipili objected and said the witness has already said that he doesn't know the area. Okay? And then Baloyi said, but my lord, all that we are asking is a simple question. And he said, is it one of the areas that fall under the greater Usutu area? The witness can say yes or no. I don't think it's proper for counsel to keep on answering questions on behalf of the accused, which they have done up to now.
It's good that he says that to the defense, so that everyone can see. But these people are capable of actually making things up for you.
And lying.
And lying for you.
In your face.
Because that is a lie. Who answered for Ntanzi?
Nobody.
Nobody
answered for Ntanzi. He answers for himself.
They haven't been objecting
you can't take
mostly.
The heat.
Who answered for Ntanzi?
Nobody.
Akekho. But
Sonke smangele. We never saw Ntanzi coming hard like this.
In front of Pambuwet, in front of Pambuwet. He's lying. We are watching the same case. he stands up and say the defense has been answering for the witness.
When did that happen?
If ever there was ever someone answering for witness, I saw that with Gininde and Baloyi.
Yeah. Yeah, when
And the
Gininde was on
judge.
the stage and the judge, it was a three-way show.
Do you understand?
They were completing each other's statements and sentences.
I feel like this thing of saying they are answering for a witness, it's sort of to counter offer or to counter what probably could have been alleged about the judge answering for and supporting and defending the state. It's like all of a sudden there's this thing brewing, people trying to
throw accusation
on people and proving true to Mnisi's words that the state is being defended by all means in that court by the judge.
At no point did the judge reprimand Advocate Baloyi for lying like that.
No.
He was lying.
No.
And he just sat there and kept quiet.
No.
Proving the sentiments that they are always siding with the state. The judge is always siding with the state. True.
Exactly.
Because that is a moment where you need to instill discipline and say, but Advocate Baloyi, what is wrong with you?
You're never going to hear that from the judge.
Like, why are you throwing accusations at people?
At your colleagues. These colleagues don't mean to say that you are, defend it the same way you do defend the states.
Then we'd believe him more. But now he's quiet like a church mouse.
Exactly. That's what he does best. He knows how to keep quiet when one of his sons are throwing tantrums. Because that is a pure tantrum that was thrown there.
Yeah, he was throwing tantrums. He didn't see Ntanzi coming like this. He's even
I can't
shocked.
believe an old man just stands up and lie in front of the whole world.
He lied with a straight face. So what more can he lie about? He said that the place at all but counsel cannot answer on his behalf, and that is correct.
What was
procedure.
an answer? What was an answer?
He hasn't even answered.
What was an answer? What was an answer for that the state proffered for Ntanzi? What
He
was
hasn't
an answer?
even answered yet.
I'm saying Ramsibile standing up. What was an answer that he gave?
There's no answer he gave. He objected. To
All
say
he said
that
there
the witness,
has been an answer given.
Yes, the witness already said that he doesn't know this area. And
avoiding this coercive behavior.
Yes.
That is happening there.
And why is he asking
badgering.
or continuing to badger once Ntanzi has communicated that he doesn't know the area? But he still continues. He still continues to ask him the same question 5 different ways. That's so unfair. Well, Ramasipili said, "My Lord, I don't know whether to laugh or cry." We never proffered an answer to a witness, okay? And he said, "I've said a witness has answered the question, and that was what was the basis of my objection. Asked and answered. That's it." The judge said, "Yes, they've answered." And then Baloyi said, "My Lord, there's nothing that turns on that. We will not labor on that point, but..."
That's what he always does. When he is found wondering how to say these people answered. Now, he claims there's nothing much to that. But you have just thrown a proper accusation on your colleagues with no support whatsoever. And when you are being answered, instead of retracting what you said, you just say there's nothing into that. But you lied in front of us, watching you.
You are assassinating people's characters, accusing them of stuff they did not do, and you don't even apologize.
Seems to me he's punching above his level.
And then he said, "Do you know the area Ekshumayeleni where accused number 1 comes from?" And Ntanzi said, "I know it. It's in Mahlabatini. Baloyi said, we understand that Osuthu area is a vast area, but how far is it from Osuthu area, Ekshumayeleni? And Ntanzi said, I don't have a measuring tape to measure it, but if I were to use my eyes, I would say it's a long distance away. And then Baloyi asked him, are you able to give an estimate? If you're not, you can say so. And Ntanzi said, I would use Pretoria as an estimate, but I'm not familiar with Pretoria. And Baloyi said, perhaps in kilometers, are you able to give an estimate? Mshololo objected and said, this is a very unfair.
Exactly.
The witness has indicated that he does not have a tape to measure the
but
distance.
Is still being led to answer some of the questions based on the very same distance that he says he does not know. And that's the behavior of the state.
And the judge
that is expected to be normal in a court of law, where the judge was defending Kininda and the likes of Mkhune Mukhane, I don't know, Mkhula Mukhane, they were defended.
Yes.
When the question
Mr.
seems
Mnisi,
like
please.
it was measuring, Mr. Mnisi, please.
Mr. Mnisi, please.
Do you understand? You know, someone was feeling pain. Someone was at pain, constipated, if you ask me, when that was happening. You know, irritable, a very irritable judge. But now, someone is being asked questions repeatedly in front of him. There's no please. Let's proceed for the interest of time. There's no such things.
Mr. Baloyi, where are we going?
No such things.
So it shows or indicate that he does not have a clue of the distances, Umshololo said, and it's clear that the witness can't answer this question. This question is unfair. Baloyi then said, once again, it's counsel answering on behalf of a witness. It's unfortunately a recurring theme in these proceedings.
What? I don't understand. I really don't understand for the life of me. What was answered here? He's saying that he's rehashing what the witness said. He says he cannot measure because he does not even know Pretoria. If he knew Pretoria, he would be able to measure. He does not know how to measure, but he distance. You understand?
It's a long distance.
And then you go on and want to ask specifics of that distance that he said he doesn't have a tape to measure.
He said he can estimate when he told you I can't do that. So a witness can, if they are unable to give an answer, they can say so themselves.
They have said so. You hardly listen to them.
Of course.
That's the behavior they're facing. So if you hardly listen to them, what needs to happen is that they need to be protected, because the court is not going to protect them. Definitely clear by now. So who needs to protect them? The defense himself. They need to protect their client. True.
And he said, but my lord, we really don't want to tame ourselves with these questions. Ramasipili got up at this point.
Deviating from taking accountability.
And when Ramasipili got up, he said, Baloyi, my lord, I'm still on the floor. Now counsel is interrupting me. This was a tantrum.
I'm telling you. Like a kid that has been shouted at.
like a kid
who's not used to be shouted at.
Yes. And he's not even being shouted at because the judge is quiet there like a church mouse. He's so quiet. He's not putting his child in order. No, he's like, let him do whatever he wants. You know, that tired and exhausted mom was like, whatever, man. Break everything. I don't care anymore. Well, Baloyi said we are going to move on when we don't want to get stuck in these issues, you know. And Ramasipili said, personally, I take an exception, and a serious one at that, to the suggestion that a recurring theme is that counsel, and by so saying that we have been furnishing answers to witnesses. My lord, objection forms part of the process here. If a question is unfair and if the basis is unfounded, then we are well within our rights to object.
Exactly. But it seems like someone is saying, don't object.
Baloyi akafuni ba object. You know, since he's frustrated like this from objections, I suggest that they object more. Maybe he will wrap it up. Ne?
Yeah.
They should not let him breathe. They should object at any minor detail of discrepancy, just so he can wrap it up. I think we're all tired.
They should actually object to also him talking to that one of Dogote.
Yes, Banda.
Because they were reprimanded.
Yes, we were also reprimanded. Yes,
harshly so by
for the
judge.
sake of the record, yes. For appeal purposes. Just object.
That we were reprimanded when we were doing what you are doing, Mr. Baloyi.
We were told to ask the court for permission.
I'm surprised that you just have freedom of doing what you want. We are just putting that on record.
Yes, and if my lord is not going to respond to it, then it's only fair that we bring it up again when it's our turn to cross-examine, so that every time we lean over to Mr. Ramosipili, we are told that we shouldn't be doing that. For the record, or for the sake of the record, it needs to be put in that when Advocate Baloyi does it with Sibanda, it's allowed and it's okay, and it's not an issue.
Exactly.
Then Baloyi said Mr. Absalom Ntanzi testified as follows. Before that, Baloyi said that he will refer Ntanzi to the record of this aspect, and he will not labor on that point. He said Mr. Absalom Ntanzi Zungu testified as follows. He said on the 17th of November 2025, when asked about the distance between Ekshumayeleni and KwaHlokolo, he testified that it is nearby. Kids in his family go to a school nearby there, and it will be that of a kilometer, for instance, you know. And also, I'm like, okay, Ntanzi has testified prior, and he's actually mentioned, given the sentiment that he lives far away from that school. So did that not apply to Advocate Baloyi? Because I was asking myself, is he going to bring it up? But of course not. He's not going to remember such. He only remembers what he wants to remember. Baloyi asked if Nongoma is a general area that incorporates Mahlabatini. Bab Absalom said that it is the same thing as one would come here to Gauteng to come and buy. Then Baloyi asked if he knew Ngoza Primary School, and he responded by saying that there was a school in Ekshumayeleni. Then he was asked how far was Ngoza Primary School to his house, and he responded by saying that the kids in his family actually go to that school, and he says that it will be a kilometer, for instance. But Absalom Zungu also said that Ntanzi was his cousin's child. And Baloyi asked Ntanzi, you testified that he lives about 10 minutes away from where you live. Ubabu Absalom Zungu said that yes, that is correct. It depends on how fast you are. So the evidence of Ubab Zungu is that Ekshumayeleni is about 10 minutes from where you live in Iskwebezi or Eskwebezi in KwaHlokolo. Do you have any comment? And Ntanzi said there's nothing I can comment because I'm not here to answer on behalf of Zungu. If I am following well what you are asking Ubab Zungu, you were supposed to ask him where Ekshumayeleni starts and also ask him where KwaHlokolo starts. I'm at the beginning of Ehlabatin. KwaHlokolo is far behind, or is far ahead. My apologies. Is far ahead. It's a bit far. That is why the kids from my home don't go to that school. There, they would rather go to Ngoza, because when it comes to distances and kilometers or minutes, I don't know that because I don't measure that. And our roads there are written D17 or D what. I don't know what that means. And then
I'm happy that Ntanzi brought that, because you know what people are saying. There is no street address there. Those places, they do have street addresses, by the way. Indeed, there's your D256 and all that. Those are street address. Yeah. So that notion that there is no street address there is not true.
Yes.
That is being now and then used as when it suits them. There is no address. There is no address. There is a street address there. You just need to know your street address.
And also, Angiri with the municipality, they don't provide services at the rural areas. So they don't feel the obligation to do what they do with urban areas at the villages and rural areas. All rural areas is like that, including ones in the northwest, which is what I liked when he compared. So that it's not only KZN, every rural area in South Africa is like that. So Baloyi then said, but in essence, the question is the following, that do you agree that your area in KwaZulu is about 10 minutes away from Exhumaleni, or do you hold a different view, or you don't know? Ntanzi said, I don't know. That's why I'm saying I would have been able to give a better answer if he was specific or specifically asked about where exactly from Exhumaleni would he travel from, and where exactly would he be going to in KwaZulu. Because it can happen that you are in an area and you are at the border, for example, the border to the next area. You are there. So does that mean that everybody who's in the area that you are in will take the same estimated time to go to the next area?
No.
So Baloyi then went back to the affidavit and referred Ntanzi, where it says, I was arrested at my workplace on the 16th of June.
I can't believe we went through that.
Yeah.
You know, when we went through that for me was the lowest that you can ever find this state on. Work.
I was arrested at my workplace.
At my workplace.
I was
in
arrested
this,
in the
this
vicinity
context
of where I work.
Yes.
I was arrested in an area where I also work.
In this context, and clearly that is stated because the events of that arrest, they are described as events that happened inside the house.
Yes.
Now Baloyi is using that.
And he used his address where he stays in his bail application. He gave the Freedom Park address to show that he wasn't hiding anything from y'all. But still, semantics. You want to twist what he said into something he didn't say.
Obvious, because he's got nothing. He's waiting for the manna that's going to come from heaven to say, oh, I got you manna. You know, that manna that is expected to come because these investigators are hard at work, as we speak. You know, that's my opinion. But continue.
Baloyi went back to the affidavit and referred Ntanzi, where it says, I was arrested at my workplace on the 16th of June, and since then I've been in custody. I was not arrested at the scene of the crime, as I was only arrested in 2020 at my workplace. Yes, after the alleged incidents which took place in 2014. And on the issues of verification of the address, I would like to state that the police did arrest me at my work or at my place of work. Then Baloyi said, you'll see that at least on 3 different occasions you stated that you were arrested at your place or work in Rustenburg. And Ntanzi said, let me respond. When we say at my place of work, I don't mean underground. I was arrested in Rustenburg, which is a different place. Freedom Park, Luka, Kanana, you must be able to differentiate here. The police never entered underground and waited for me underground and then arrested me underground. Then Baloyi said, Mr. Ntanzi, were you arrested at your workplace in Rustenburg? And Ntanzi said, the police fetched me at home. Ntanzi said, yes, at Freedom Park. Where were you? You were renting a room. Is that correct? And Ntanzi said, yes, my lord. Then Baloyi said, and that is not your workplace, is that correct? And Ntanzi said, I work in Rustenburg. The mines is close to where I stay. When I leave the location going to where I work, taxi fare is around 10 rands. So Baloyi read where it stated that before my incarceration, I was residing at Freedom Park location phase 2, renting as it was next to where I was working in Impala mines. Ntanzi said, even what I am saying before the court is the same. It's still the same. Then Baloyi said, your own evidence is that you were arrested in the room that you were renting on the 16th of June 2020 at Freedom Park. And Ntanzi said, I'm still answering the same way before the court. The police did not find me in the streets, nor did they find me in a tavern. They found me at home where I'm renting. And then Baloyi said, the point that we're trying to make here, Baba Ntanzi, is that you are aware you're not arrested at your workplace, or you were not arrested at your
100% record. 99% record. That's the reasoning capacity. Reasoning capacity. And when we say honestly speaking, that's how we speak when we're in KZN. If I work in Joburg, ngisemsebenzini. Generally.
I got arrested lapho ngisebenza khona emsebenzini.
Generally.
Because you still regard your home in KZN as your home.
Do you understand?
Yes. You still regard it as your home. You don't regard a rented place as your home.
No, never.
Emqashweni.
Umqasho nje. Ngalapha ngisebenza khona. Home. That's a reasoning capacity. That we should
quite some time
we
on
are
this.
Subjected to. Yes, that's my worry. Exactly, that's my worry.
He spent, one would estimate, close to an hour on this.
That's my worry.
You are going nowhere slowly.
And that was used, by the way, to deny Ntanzi's bail as a person who's not like genuine.
Yes, who didn't disclose.
Otobani should be ashamed of themselves wherever they are.
Address.
They should be ashamed of himself. I must say this as a lawyer. As a lawyer, the way that affidavit is written, it begs a lot of questions.
It was poorly written.
Poorly written. It's like there was no even time that was given to it. Now Ntanzi is being questioned on it. You know? He's being questioned on it.
And again, abo Baloyi bayayithanda ke lento leyo ngakwazi isingisi. They thrive on it.
Leeches.
He said, we need to also remember that the question that you're asking me when you say Rustenburg. Rustenburg is a town. I'm working in Impala, one shaft at Meriting. Even you yourself, those places, you'd refer to them as different. Baloyi said, but Mr. Ntanzi, it is a fairly simple issue. Why did you not say you was arrested? I was arrested at my residential address at Freedom Park location phase 2 because that's where you were arrested. Is that correct? And Ntanzi said, I told the lawyer Tobani, who was representing me, that I was arrested in my house, not in the streets. If you are going to say that I did not state it before the court, then what is the name of Freedom Park doing in the affidavit? Then Baloyi said, we repeat to you that you were stating 3 different places that you were arrested at your place of work. And Ntanzi said, I work at Rustenburg and stay at Freedom Park. Then Baloyi said, on the issue of verification of addresses, I would like to state that the police did arrest me at my place of work, and they further went to my home village in KZN, whereby they questioned my family about me, then ransacked my family home. Therefore, the state know where to find me.
Badly written. Badly written. And I will tell you why.
Why?
Because they were representing all of them. 4 of them? At the time.
Yes, 4.
So they were relaying a story of accused number 1 in conjunction with accused number 2.
Because accused number 1 did testify.
Accused number 1 has that incident where they took him home. Badly written.
Sure way. Therefore, the state know where to find me should I be released on bail. Is there any such evidence, Baba Ntanzi, that the police went to your home village in KZN and ransacked your family home? Ntanzi said, I'm certain that the person who wrote here is Tobani. I never told him that the police went to my home. I never told him that the police officer went to my home because I was in jail. And then Baloyi said, so the police never went to your home village. Is that correct? Ntanzi said, I don't know. But here it is stated as a fact that they went to your home village. They questioned your family and ransacked your family home. Ntanzi said, where is the handwritten statement that goes along with this one? And then Baloyi said, we are working on what was provided to us by Ntanzi. We are posing it to you that here it is stated as a fact that police went to your home village. They questioned your family and ransacked your family home. So that is not true. Ntanzi said, I don't know. And he can't answer this question particularly with a yes or no. And
because it probably happens because the family is saying that.
Yes, the family saying that they did visit them and they did flip their house upside down searching for whatever they were searching for. So it seems like within Ntanzi that was done in his absence. That's why he can't answer for sure. And
but then why did the lawyer include this thing? Why would you do that? Well, because you are representing two people, you're thinking they are one person.
There was too much rushing. And also, I feel like communication as well. I mean, Tobani is not Zulu. Right? Titi Tobani is Zulu. Maybe you couldn't hear them. What's bad?
I.
You're not.
You can't hear what you are not told. That's a point.
Yeah, you're not happy. Ne?
You cannot hear what you were not told.
Yeah, you can't hear what you were not told.
If you were not told, you don't make things up.
If you're not told, you don't make things up. Maybe he was confusing all the stories of the 4 accused. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So he said that, Baloyi said, but this is what was stated here. Ntanzi said, I'm saying I don't know, my lord. And then Baloyi referred Ntanzi to Brigadier Ganinda's affidavit where he stated.
Defending Ganinda. Glory to Ganinda.
Yes. Perfect, oh hail King Ganinda. The applicant originates from Kwanongoma area in KwaZulu-Natal. The address of KZN was not verified because it is unknown to the state. This area is mountainous and has lots of hills. Wait a minute.
So you have not went there.
But how do you?
But how then are you describing the place?
How do you know that it has mountains and stuff? Like, how if you've never been there? How would you know that? Then Baloyi says, so Brigadier Ganinda here is confirming that your home address was not visited. Ntanzi said it's because he did not go there.
It has mountains.
But it has mountains and hills and mountainous, yes. Yes. And then Ntanzi said it's because he did not go there. He went to West.
Man, this is where I felt like, just shut up, Ntanzi. Shush. What you don't know, you don't know. Don't try to answer for it.
Don't try to answer.
Because by saying, hey, you are now saying he doesn't know Wanongoma.
Which is what Baloyi wants to
do you understand?
Yeah.
Just shut up. Shush.
Ntanzi said it's because he did not go there. He went to West, to the younger brother of mine, the one who Tobani wrote his address. The information he wrote here, he got it from the young man from West, the one he was threatening from number 4. So Baloyi said the fact of the matter, Baba Ntanzi, is that there is no evidence that your home village in KZN was visited by the police or that they ransacked your family home. So what is stated in paragraph here is incorrect. Ntanzi said, I believe that I have answered this question many times, that what is written here, I know nothing about it. I was in custody. Ganinda does not know the villages. He got that from West, number 4.
Up.
As he states that there are mountains at my home. If we go there and ask him to point at those mountains, what mountain will he point at? What mountain will he show me?
Shut up. This is where, honestly, I was like, shut up.
It's okay, Ntanzi, to say, I don't know where he got that from.
Shut up. Shut up.
My home doesn't have mountains, so I don't know where he got that from. That would have sufficed. Now you're giving Baloyi information now.
Not information, you are giving him what he wants. That Ganinda, the clean Ganinda, never went there. Shut up.
Eish.
Let those who are affected by this come and say they are 2 cents.
Yes. The ones who were threatened can always be called to come and testify that is what happened. Well, after the short adjournment, there was a bit of a glitch there. The SABC not showing us the visuals.
It's normal.
Then Baloyi said, you've already mentioned that you've got 3 sisters, Sisteliwe, Mantombi, and Mpumi. The sister who comes after him, he said, was Mpumi. The younger one is younger than him. Then Baloyi said, you'd recall that when we were going through the calls of the persons mentioned in your phone book, there was a person called Noma Zwide, and you mentioned that she's more or less of the same age as your younger sister, the one that comes after you. Were you referring to Mpumi? What do these questions have to do with what happened to Senzo? Guys, I feel so drained. I'm like,
what does all the questions have anything to do? What does all the questions have anything to do with what happened to Senzo?
None. 0 zilch.
So this is still the same thing.
How you are dragging the poor sisters? Your way. Then Ntanzi said, yes, when you compare them, even if they were not born in the same date, but if you look at their ages, then Baloyi said, is Mpumi the last born in your household? And Ntanzi said she is. Baloyi referred Ntanzi to the bail proceedings, the evidence of his brother. He was asked on the 13th of October 2020 by the legal representative of Ntanzi. Mr. Tobani asked him how he knew the applicant, and Bongeleni said that he is the last born at their parental house. And then Tobani said, your parental house, is it from where the applicant was also born and stayed? Bongeleni answered, correctly so. So now Baloyi said, is this statement by your brother that you are the last born in your parental house correct? And Ntanzi said, yes, it is like that according to our culture. When you're Zulu, I'm the last son at home. The daughter is not counted because she will get married. Is it Zulu culture, Mr. Anonymous?
To be?
To refer to the last born son as the last born. Because if the last born is the daughter, then she will be married.
It's up to them. It's up to them.
It's up to them in their practices.
It's up to them in their practices. I think they shouldn't attribute it to culture. It's what they practice.
So Baloyi said yes, but will you agree here that the question was specific as to whether you are the last born in your parental house, and that is how your brother answered that you are the last born there? It's not qualification. Do you agree? Ntanzi said, even myself, I was going to respond that I'm the last born at home, because when this question is asked, the question is not specific. It must be specific to say, are you the last born son? How many girls and how many boys are in your family? Well, then Baloyi said, that is the point that we're trying to make here, that do you agree that all your brothers mentioned was that you are the last born at your parental house? There's no qualification that refers to the last born male in the household. Ntanzi said, yes, I'm responding myself before the court that I am the last born. According to the Zulu culture, I'm the last born at home. Then Baloyi said, but to someone who is not in the Zulu culture, they won't understand it the way that you understand it. Do you agree?
Exactly. There are many things you don't understand.
Then Ntanzi said, I'm here responding to it. Just like you wanted to know Ekshumayeleni and where I'm coming from, you did not know, but you wanted to know, isn't it? Baloyi referred Ntanzi to his affidavit where it said, I was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 for the alleged incident that took place in 2014. And on 19th of June 2020, I was assaulted by the police and they even took my clothes full of blood. The reason for my beating is that they wanted to force me to make a confession, and for the participation of the alleged offense that took place in 2014. Now, looking back at how we got the full picture, I believe, in my point of view, it should have rather said they forced me to sign a confession that was already written. I feel like that is what should have been placed instead.
Yeah.
So even the papers I signed are full of blood. I even refused to sign them, and further that my clothes and mining clock card were sold away by the landlord where I was renting. What the hell? This statement, oh my God, is a mess. Yo. This statement is a mess. It's not written properly. But I then said there are two confessions. The confession before Kenna Rapadu on the 19th of June 2020 and the confession before Magistrate Grenier on the 24th of June 2020. The version that you were assaulted by the police and that they even took your clothes full of blood. Even the papers were full of blood and you refused to sign them. That is the version you gave before Miss Grenier. And Ntanzi said the clothes were taken, and I even asked for the clothes from Mohola on numerous occasions, and I saw the clothes when I went to Rustenburg. They were in a plastic, and they opened the plastic. I asked Mohani where my t-shirt is. He then said to me I should ask Mabena. Ntanzi said I never signed in front of the white lady. The statement I signed was in the open field where I was being assaulted in Gininda's presence. The handcuffs were cutting me. I did see my hands bleeding. That is why I'm saying that where I signed, there was supposed to be blood. If the blood was wiped, then it should not be a problem. And there are chemicals, by the way, Mr. Anonymous, that you can use to remove blood. I'm just saying. If the blood was there. So, Ntanzi is saying, if they wiped it off, then there's nothing he can do. If it's still fresh and you do this, yes, ingasuka. Right. And there are also chemicals you can use that can make blood
disappear.
Yes. The markings, the redness vanish. I'm not going to state what they are. Bagangila bantu la ngaphandle. Well, then Baloyi said the point here is that your version regarding the paper that you signed, as you explained, near the dumping area or industrial area, that version pertains to confession before Magistrate Grenier. Do you agree? And Ntanzi said, yes, there are those that I signed before her and there were those that I signed in the open field. Baloyi then said, when you talk about the fact that the police took clothes full of blood, are you still also referring to the incident of the 24th of June 2020 or the confession before Magistrate Grenier? Ntanzi said the prosecutor should not confuse things here. I went to Miss Grenier during the day on that day. This thing happened at night. My clothes got lost when I was not with Miss Grenier. So you should be able to differentiate. And then Baloyi said, when did the incident with the clothes full of blood take place? When were they taken? Ntanzi said that he was able to see that his clothes were missing when he was in Rustenburg. Then he said, how? That's my Fabiani t-shirt. It was no longer where I left it. When my clothes were being searched, as well as that white vest labeled Jockey at the back, then Baloyi stopped him and said, let's get back to the point, Baba Ntanzi. Do you agree here that you only talked of one confession, the one that you say you signed the statement at the industrial area? Is it correct that you're talking about one confession statement on the 24th of June 2020 before Miss Grenier? Ntanzi said, no, you told the court that I made two statements. And I said I never made a statement. They are the ones who wrote it. And then Baloyi said, we'll get to that. All that we are asking is that when you reach paragraph 14 and 16, the two paragraphs only speak of one statement, namely the one before Miss Grenier on the 24th of June 2020. Do you agree? Ntanzi said he didn't understand what that question meant. There was a back and forth where Baloyi was, trying to explain this question over and over again to what he's trying to do. And the gist of the question, he wanted to know if the clothes disappeared before the 24th, before he appeared before Magistrate Grenier, or after the 19th, after he had the confession session allegedly with Kenna Rapadu. Baloyi then read the record of the trial within a trial when Sibanda was cross-examining Ntanzi. Sibanda said, so you did not see a need to show the bloody t-shirt as well as the vest to Miss Grenier? Ntanzi said, if I was asked a question, then I was going to respond to the question. And then Sibanda said, when you made the report that you needed a change of clothes as well as both, was it not the moment to then point out the blood on your vest as well as your shirt? Ntanzi said, my lord, I'm still maintaining that if I was asked, then I was still going to show them, because even the call I was requested to make, I was not even given the opportunity to make the call. Sibanda then said, then you made the request out of your own will, but this important aspect of blooded shirt as well as the vest, you do not want to volunteer to the magistrate. So in other words, you can confirm that paragraph 14 and 16 relate to one occasion, mainly the statement that was made on the 24th of June 2020 that you signed in an industrial area. Ntanzi said, these are the different things. Don't say that they are the same. You asked me a question and I answered. So this was a long drag, okay? And then Ntanzi said that before Rapadu, or he was taken for a confession with Rapadu, he bled through his nose, which is the blood that fell on the t-shirt. Remember, this is the t-shirt that he was talking about, how he took it off after the assault and then he hanged it in his jail cell. And then he was taken out as usual. When he came back, it was gone. So they took the t-shirt because perhaps they saw that it had blood in it. And then he said that his nose, he was bleeding through his nose, which is the blood that fell on that t-shirt, because at the time when they poured him with the water, and the jacket that he was wearing was water resistant, so the water wasn't getting through to the jacket. Hence they unzipped the jacket because they wanted to pour water and use that gadget where they torture him. I believe it's a taser, because when you pour water, the taser hurts even more. So it's a lot more torture. He said that as to how Tobani painted the record, he is not disputing what he said, because he is stating that which he is telling the court. As to how he stated it, he doesn't know. He said, I'm not disputing anything. Then Baloyi said in paragraph 16 to 14, it's mentioned that you've made two, distinct, or that there are two distinct confession statements. One on the 19th of June 2020 and the other one on the 24th of June 2020. Ntanzi said, my lord, there's nothing that I'm saying, because I never made a statement that is clear before this court. If I had written a statement, then I would have mentioned that on such and such a date, I made a statement. Well, then Baloyi's argument was that the two paragraphs that gave an impression that only one statement was made. Then Ntanzi said, my lord, there's no way where it's written two statements. Even the prosecutor is talking about the 24th, yet here it indicates the 19th. So on the actual two paragraphs he's referring to, the 19th of June is mentioned. But he himself does not even hear what he is saying before the court. Here it's written the 19th of June 2020. Where is the 24th here? When things like this happen, Baloyi, when things like this happen, they are priceless. And then Baloyi said that let's try again. Then he asked how many confessions does the paragraph refer to, and Ntanzi said that the plastic was actually placed over his head, and that is what he made his nostrils bleed. It was on the 18th he was assaulted until the blood came out of his nose. On the 19th he was also assaulted. Then on the 24th he was also assaulted and tortured. Baloyi now went to the judgment, the finding of Judge President Ledwaba, paragraph 15, and that is what we've been trying to get clarity from you, is what he said to Ntanzi. He said, he read the part of the judgment. It said the investigating officer in his affidavit stated that the applicant made two confessions. The first one on the 19th of June 2020 to a police officer, and the second one to the magistrate in the presence of his attorney on the 24th of June 2020 at the Boksburg Magistrate Court. The applicant in his affidavit mentions one confession and states that he refused to sign it. Now Ntanzi said this is not referring to the investigating officer. Then Baloyi said it is finding of the court that you only disclosed one confession and did not disclose the other. In short, you were less than frank with the court, that's diffusing your bail application. you only disclosed one confession. Like I said, the statement was poorly written.
Yebo.
And not only was it poorly written, it's also interesting that Judge President Ledwaba was not interested in knowing or finding out why there's two confessions instead of one. Why didn't that bother him?
Asazi. Insizwa le flexible.
Then, but Ntanzi said, which date is the court saying I disclosed? And then Baloyi said the 24th of June 2020. Ntanzi said that is not true. It's written the 19th year, and I've been saying, which is why I'm asking which date. Then Baloyi said, according to you, which date does that confession, paragraph refer to? Ntanzi said the prosecutor is saying the 24th, I'm saying the 19th is written, and you are saying the 24th. And then Baloyi hammered on this question until Ntanzi said that the statement mentions one confession. Then he moved on to Ntanzi's level of education now. He said you have, on occasion directly responded to questions of your counsel before it was interpreted. The state did even put on record that you have answered questions of your counsel before they were interpreted. When did the state put this on record? That Ntanzi would answer questions before they were interpreted.
I think there was an incident, there was time, but look, I don't think that's a big deal. In any case, there are people who can even speak English, but they cannot write it.
Yeah, and there are many people who are driving on a daily basis who did not finish all the way to grade 12. But they know when a board is written Rustenburg, that is Rustenburg. They pass their learner's licenses. So what is he trying to say? That even if you left a school at grade 10, you still can't read and write at all. There are people that have never even entered school, but they can read. The former president is an example. Ne?
Yes.
There are people who learn to read, to pick up a book and read by themselves and teach themselves how to read. I even remember a famous example I can make of Rebecca Malupi. Rebecca Malupi, at the beginning of her career, she couldn't even articulate herself well in English. But within a space of 5 to 10 years, she was able. She even hosted a whole TV show. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what is he trying to say? And with the years that they've kept Ntanzi incarcerated, we're going on 6 years now that they've kept him in prison. Do you think that he just sits looking at the wall the whole day? The Ntanzi they arrested is not the same Ntanzi that's before the court now.
No.
So what is he trying to say? That people don't grow, people don't learn, people are not inquisitive. If you are in a legal predicament, you will learn the law, whether you like it or not.
You would.
Sure, the question is Baloyi. Hi, Con. Well, let me finish up. Well, he said that the questions of your counsel before they were interpreted, that gave the impression that you do understand English. And Ntanzi said that is not true. You are making a big mistake before the court. And then Baloyi said, what mistake am I making? Ntanzi said that I understand English. Even you don't know isiZulu. You just learn it along the way. You don't know isiZulu. And then Baloyi said, are you saying you don't understand English? Ntanzi said, I know isiZulu. I don't understand English. There's no word you can ask me about isiZulu and I won't answer. This also speaks to the level of desperation that now the state has reached. Okay. Baloyi read when Ntanzi said that he went up to Standard 8 and attended Falaza High School in Kwanongoma. He asked Ntanzi if he was referring to the old Standard 8 or if he's referring to grade 8. And Ntanzi said he went up to Standard 8. Baloyi said in his affidavit stated that he earned 10,000 rands per month after deductions. I don't know what Ntanzi's salary is doing there in court. I don't know. I don't understand. And then he said Tobani wrote in his own way. He said that it would be a little bit more than that. It would depend on how he worked in the month. He said in a month there would be certain Saturdays where he would be working and certain Saturdays where he would not be working. So the money was not the same. He said he was banking with Standard Bank at the time. He was working at Carltonville. He was not earning this much money that he was earning now at Impala Mine. And Baloyi said, would you regard yourself having progressed to grade 8? And we use the word with the greatest of respect. This is what appears in the proceedings. Would you regard yourself as being illiterate? When did he say he's illiterate? Not being able to articulate yourself in English does not mean particularly that you're illiterate. Mara like question it dom jwang. It is such a useless question in my opinion.
Toban.
Hey, Ntanzi then said I was not doing well at school, hence my brother took me out and said, go to the mines because you're not doing well. Well, Baloyi said, yes, we understand education might be a privilege to Africans, but what we want to understand is that, do you regard someone who has progressed up to standard 8 as being illiterate? Ntanzi said, yes, I take them as someone who's not learned, because our minds are not the same. My mind thinks about cows, while your thoughts may be about stealing. We're not the same. Baloyi said, do you agree that the meaning illiterate means someone who cannot read or write? In other words, someone who hasn't been to school. Ntanzi said, no, we are not created the same. I have an uncle who's not been to school, but the way he has money, I don't even know how to state it. Yet he has never went to school.
So that means the person in Ntanzi doesn't understand illiterate.
Doesn't understand what illiterate means. His answering
is just based on being rich.
Yeah. That is why.
That illiterate. Utitiro fake lapha.
Illiterate. Utiti calling his client illiterate. Batuk Titi. This affidavit was the pits.
It's a mess.
It was the pits. It was the pits. It really didn't help Ntanzi get bail at all. It was a mess. I don't know. It was a mess though. The affidavit, I'm also not happy with the quality of writing. You know, he said, that is why I'm saying it depends on the mind of a person. You can be smart, but if you don't think, you'll get under the table. But if you're stupid and you'll walk on the table, you know, Ntanzi said you are able to read and write. Baloyi was asking him, you are able to read and write. And Ntanzi said, read and write what? I'm able to read isiZulu and write it. Which I feel like it's a proper response. There are people who can read and write in isiZulu, their native mother tongue, but when it comes to English, they can't do it. There are people. We've seen them. We know them. We live amongst them, right? But it doesn't mean that they are illiterate. If you can read your mother tongue and write your mother tongue, doesn't mean you're illiterate. Just means that you can't.
It means that you are revolutionary.
Yes, you can't articulate in English.
You just not want to absorb that thing of West.
Yes, and it also does not mean that you're stupid. Then Baloyi said, so you're saying it's only the English that you are not conversant in. And Ntanzi said, even Setswana, I'm unable to write it. Even Sesotho and Chitsonga, I'm unable to write it. Baloyi read the evidence when Ntanzi said he saw a board written Orlando, so you were able to read the directional board.
So Orlando is English.
Ntanzi said, in my Zulu language, what you're asking me is a disgrace and an insult to me because the word Orlando is all over the world. I'm a supporter of pirates, a buccaneer. Carltonville is a route I would travel every day and I could see it written in Carltonville. These words that I mentioned before you caught, you yourself, I ask you what Orlando means, you'll not be able to explain to me what it means. So after the long adjournment, Ntanzi said it's an insult to him when he asked him if he's unable to read the word Orlando because even a small child, if you say Orlando Pirates, they would know what that is a soccer team. You know, and then Baloyi said the fact of the matter is that you are able to read directional boards. If he can read isiZulu, then there's no reason why he cannot add Rustenburg and then hear people calling a place Rustenburg and conclude that that place is Rustenburg. Baloyi, come on now. Are we going to stoop this low? Are we going to do this? We are in the mud right now. This is a pigsty. What is this? Sit down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Baloyi went to the proceedings of the 7th of November 2023. Mgomezulu put the preposition to Sergeant Mohani, where Mgomezulu said he saw a board written Albertine. Ntanzi said he would identify some places with boards. That is how he's able to tell where he is. Okay. So it seems like Baloyi is saying that Ntanzi should testify in English because he can read boards of directions. Is that what I'm picking up? Is that he does not need an interpreter?
He's trying to say that those statements, he understood them.
All of this by reading the board written Albertine. We are going to Johannesburg. As you are driving, you can see the board saying Johannesburg. By the mere fact of that, it means you can articulate yourself in English. It means you can hear a whole conversation in English. It means you can respond in English.
Yes.
Ay, Sugan Madota. Baloyi said on the 8th of February 2024, you testified the two vehicles appeared. It was a white GTI. It was marked. I cannot tell what mark it was because I'm illiterate. So the point is you are saying you couldn't read the mark on the GTI because you are illiterate. Hey, TT. Oh my God. Wabona le illiterate le. Ngabe uyekile mfo. Ngabe uhlukane. Yo! And then he said that you can read the directional boards. Then Ntanzi said directional boards, even a young child is able to see them. Just like myself, as I'm being transported from Koshimampuru to the court, I'm able to see the route that is being driven or taken down. There's a board written Rustenburg. I'm able to see that board. Baloyi said he will read on Mshololo's cross-examination of Kenna Rapadu to demonstrate that Rapadu accords with the fact that Ntanzi was answering questions before they were interpreted to him. Ntanzi said that by him or me, earlier on I did say to this court that I'm requesting that you don't compare things because there's nothing direct that you are putting to me, but you are comparing. I have been lamenting before you that I have been in this stand for a long time. It's the 4th week now. There's nothing you've put to me as to why I'm here. Instead, you are comparing. So I don't know as to whether that what is done in court is to compare or it's something that you are doing. Baloyi said we will get to the real issues. The real issues are in dispute. But we first have to deal with these preliminary issues. It's been 4 weeks, guys. 4 weeks. I wonder if these confessions were admissible. All he needed was an hour. But he's taken 4 weeks. He needed an hour. Maybe 2 before adjournment. Hi, 4 weeks. The fact that you have to spend 4 weeks proving these statements already tell us everything that we need to know about how these statements were taken. Why do you need 4 weeks to prove statements, confessions? Then Baloyi said we will get to those real issues. He said Mshololo asked Rapadu if Ntanzi understood English and whether he would be in need of the services of an interpreter. Rapadu claimed that Ntanzi understood English. He said he asked him. He said Ntanzi started speaking before he could start with the interview. Then Baloyi said we therefore put the proposition that Kenna Rapadu said you spoke before he could start with the interview, according with the fact that here in court you were answering at certain points questions before they were interpreted to you. I don't remember this happening. This to me is a lie. I don't remember Ntanzi responding to a question before he got an interpretation. He must have confused him with someone else. I don't remember that happening, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm that biased towards Ntanzi that maybe I just don't pay attention. But I've never...
At some point, there was a time where I think Lobabalo, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, when he keeps telling him to speak slow. That's what I pick up.
No.
Is that Ingati Amshi?
Even Rata insinuated that.
I don't remember it. But it's fine. but then by they are
Oh no,
hammering
it
on
was
this.
Makosong actually.
Oh, it was Makosong. Yes, I don't remember it with Ntanzi. Yes, I don't at all. I don't remember it. I don't remember him getting ahead. And I always make it a point with Ntanzi.
It was Gwabin. Yeah,
it was
Gwabin.
Yeah, it was Gwabin. Because even with Ntanzi, I make it a point of listening to him. I don't listen to the interpreters
right.
much.
I'm confusing Gwabin.
I don't respond to I don't listen to the interpreter as much because I'm not happy with how he's saying what he's saying, and I understand because Ntanzi speaks very fast, so he's struggling to catch up to him sometimes. So I listen to Ntanzi when it comes to the interpretation. I don't listen to the interpreter. Ntanzi confirmed that Rapadu did not read the statement back to him. He said he signed it because at that point he was tired of being assaulted. Ntanzi said Rapadu was in possession of an envelope that he received from Mohani as well as his ID. You know, he was busy writing with his ID there. And Ntanzi said he's not the source of what is written in the proforma. The statements were authored by the police. They then forced him to sign the proforma in the statement. He said he knew nothing about the contents of the statement and the proforma. They would not have assaulted me if I was the one who was writing. End quote. Baloyi now repeated Ntanzi's evidence of what happened before he was made to sign the statement that was done by Magistrate Grenier. Ntanzi said that he was not the source of both statements. They were authored by the police and they forced him to sign the statements. Mohani went up to Grenier as well with the brown envelope. It was there at every confession session. This brown envelope accompanied Ntanzi. This brown envelope was there everywhere. Baloyi states that Ntanzi's version that he was assaulted was filled with contradictions as to whether he was assaulted on the 18th or the 19th of June. Ntanzi said that out of his own mouth, when he stood before the court to testify, he did state that he was assaulted on the 18th, the 19th, and the 24th. Ntanzi reminded Baloyi that before the AVL, Mohani had actually denied going to the engine garage in Alberton and meeting up with Jonathan. Yes, he did. He did deny it. That's why the AVL records were pulled up, because Mohani was denying that took place. Ntanzi asked Baloyi to properly read what he stated in court. As Baloyi was now confusing the record, he said that they went to Alberton at Engine Garage on the 18th and Baragwanath and Moroka Police Station on the 19th, the day of the confession with Rapadu. Baloyi said Mgomezulu put it to Rapadu that Ntanzi went to Alberton on the 19th. Ntanzi said that it was news to him before the court. He doesn't remember Mgomezulu saying such. Baloyi said Ntanzi tailored his evidence after the AVL records were obtained on the 3rd of November 2023 with a straight face, Mtakabao, lying before the court. Lying.
Wow. You know, I told you about certain people here. I wonder we have different animals in this world. That's all I can say.
Lying. With a straight face. But I said your version was tailored to conform with the AVL records. Hey! And then Ntanzi said, my lord, let this be clear. Don't mislead the court. Number one, I'm the one who told the court about the garage. Mohani denied that he ever went to the garage at Alberton. I told the court about Baragwanath. Mohani denied ever going to Baragwanath. And then when the AVL report came back, that is when the state, the prosecutor, not me, tailored Mohani's version. It's not me, it's the state. Where Mohani then said, yes, he did go to the garage in Alberton. He did go to the hospital in Baragwanath. Now it is confusing when it is being put to me now that I was tailoring my version, when I'm the one who told the court about the engine garage as well as the hospital in Baragwanath.
And I remember Ngomezulu explaining, describing that thing.
Now he's just using Ngomezulu as he wishes, lying on him, knowing very well that he's not here to defend himself. He's just doing as he pleases with people that are deceased.
Oh, my daughter. The likings are not liking.
Hi, guys. Yenzani lapho. Pressani like bakithi. Pressani like. Vukani phela. Wake up. Wakey. It's time to press the like button.
Let's finish up so that I can go.
I'm done.
You're done?
Quarter joint. I'm done.
Injalo indaba. Awufethu hayi. Ntanzi ukuthi sibe la vele. Most siku 413.
How many are the likes?
229.
Guys, pressani like bakithi. Pressani like. Sengipushe kangaka guys. Wani ngangenzi kanjena.
Cha mfowethu kusasa namhlanje ngine early day. Xoleleni kanza wethu. It's important to me to rest, more especially if I'm going to sit with my boss the whole day. Discussing work and all that, so I need to be awake.
Okay.
I can't afford to be snoring.
Yeah, ne. Let us wrap it up, guys. We'll see each other again tomorrow, ne? And please press the like button. Engage, guys. Engage. Encourage us. Don't do this thing that you're doing, please. We'll see each other again tomorrow, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. It's a bye from us.
It's a bye. Bye-bye.